Hello, Alliance Northwest leaders. We are heading into Thanksgiving week. And this month on the DS video, I wanted to take a pause and a moment to give a big thanks to this guy right here, Dennis Pust. Most of you, I'm sure, know by now that Dennis is stepping out of his full-time role with us here at the district office, which he has been in for many years and through many different leaders. And we are thankful for that. And he's stepping into a regional role and into retirement. I'm going to let him share a bit about that. But first, Dennis, I just wanted to say from me to you, thank you so much for this year. This coming into this role, I think that was my first fear, was that you weren't going to stay. Mm-hmm. And so I have appreciated you taking the time to tool me up, inform me, guide me as we have figured out how God wants to move in the Alliance Northwest. So as we head towards Thanksgiving, I just want to say I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for the friendship that's been developing, and just for the work that you put into helping me become the best DS that I can be. Jury's still out on whether I am or not yet, but thank you for that. And with the video this month, I wanted you to have an opportunity, one to give a word to all of our leaders, to tell them the things that have mattered most to you, maybe some words of encouragement, as well as talk about the regional role for church revitalization, what that means, what that will look like for you, continue to work in our district. So we'll start there. Thank you so much for who you are, who you've been to me and to so many leaders in our district. And I'll turn it over to you to share a few things on your heart about what it's been like.
Yeah, well, thank you.
This role.
Well, thank you, Monty. Yeah, it's been a delight to work with you this year. It's just been fun to help you get your feet under you, and I'm just glad I could be here for that. And I'm going to miss it, but looking much forward to the opportunity that I have to step into what's called the regional church advance coordinator role.
Okay.
So the Alliance is divided up into about 4 regions, and we're in the West region. It includes 5 districts. 4 of them are geographical districts. One of them is an ethnic district. So it's the Rocky Mountain, Alliance Northwest, Central Pacific, and then the South Pacific Alliance, and then the Vietnamese district as well.
Okay.
So my role will be to come alongside all 4 or 5 of those districts and just helping them form their team, train their teams to help churches revitalize. So I'll be working with whoever takes my place, and then helping all of our districts in this region to form their teams and train their teams to help churches come alongside churches to revitalize.
That's great. Well, I know that's been our big emphasis, even within the Alliance Northwest this last year. You've done an excellent job. We've been raising up coaches. We've been coming alongside churches in ways like we haven't for a while under your leadership. So taking that to the regional level, I think is going to be exciting for you. Are you still going to get a little bit of downtime with retirement in that role?
Well, we're hoping so.
It is a big role.
It's a large role. It's kind of humorous because we laugh about the fact that this is a national office, position sort of, and they build it as a 1-day-a-week job. With 5
It's
districts.
A retirement job. Yeah. Full time. Yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to, I know some of the players already in the DSs, and so it should be an easy transition. But and I'm also just really looking forward to the opportunity to come alongside churches and districts to do this. And we're hoping to spend some time with our grandkids. We have 8 grandgirls and 1 more on the way. So that'll be fun. We're looking forward to that. We're going to relocate back to Roseburg, Oregon.
Okay.
Right around Christmas time.
Okay.
So.
Awesome. Well, we'll be praying with you. And I'm looking forward that we still get a team, obviously for the West region on that. Mm-hmm. But as you slide out of this office role, and you head towards that, you head towards more time with your family. Any key stories you'd like just to share with us that have been meaningful for you over the years, or some words of wisdom from the Reverend Pust to all of us who have benefited, honestly, from your leadership for a large number of years?
Well, thank you. I'm not sure I got a lot of wisdom. I'm a wise guy.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
Yeah.
But that's a different category. Well, I do have some, I do have some favorite memories, just some things I've been thinking about that, just looking back over some pictures and photos and things like that even. And one humorous thing that happened, I remember when I first started here, Matt Boda, like 3 weeks later, said, "Dennis, we have a pastor installation that I need you to go do." And I've like never done a pastor installation, so trying to figure that out. And then it was at the Kent Chinese Alliance Church, which is a really special group. And it was to install Pastor Henry Wong.
Henry, yeah.
So ever since that Sunday, which was like 3 Sundays into my time here, I go to the church. We have a great time together. Henry's no longer there, but we had a really special installation. And so between he and I, we'd always humor each other every time we saw each other. That the first thing Dennis did is he went to a church and installed the Wong pasta.
The Wong. I could hear Henry saying that.
Yeah.
That's so good.
So that was a standing joke between us. It was really fun.
That was good.
Yeah. But I also have some just wonderful memories. I remember taking a trip in 2013.
Yeah.
Because at that time I was doing global missions as well. And so I took a group of pastors to China. And we did it was just a really special trip. Went to a number of really special places. And under Kelvin's time, there was this partnership between our district and China. And one of the things that we were doing is helping them build churches because that gave them legitimacy in the community where they could legally meet.
Yeah.
And so we went to this one congregation, and they were celebrating a dedication of the building that had been refurbished, and it was refurbished with churches that were represented by these pastors from the Alliance Northwest that went with me, and funds that were raised from those churches. And it was just really special because afterwards they presented us with these bricks from the old building. And the history was that in 1885, the church, a Wesleyan church was built, and every brick was stamped with the words in Chinese, Gospel Church. And they gave each of us one of those bricks. Yeah.
Every brick.
From every brick was stamped with that. And I still have that brick with me today. It was so special to think that we're part of this bigger picture, this bigger God story. Yeah. And just our little piece in that was really, really special. So that's a special memory, and I can still see the pastors and the team that went with me on that. It was really, really cool. I also remember early on in my days here, again, I was a little shocked. Matt Boda said, "Hey, Dennis, I don't think I can go to this, but we have a special opportunity to take some pastors on a renewal trip. And I'm wondering if you could lead it." And I'm like, "Okay, sure,
Matt."
It includes a yacht trip to Victoria. And so there were 6 couples of us that got on this yacht, I think up in or Port Angeles or wherever. And we sailed across. We spent like 4 days in Victoria at Bouchard Gardens. We were, they anchored the boat in this beautiful bay. Yeah. And it was just amazing. And we had renewal time. This was an Alliance layman who has this yacht, and he travels around the world, and he just ministers to pastors. Wow. And anyway, so that was really, really a special trip to do that.
Well, I think we need to get that guy's name.
Yeah.
I can think of a couple of pastors that wouldn't mind another 4-day cruise of renewal.
Yeah, it was really special. And the guys that went on that trip were pastors and their wives who had just gone through some crises and struggles, and what a refreshing time that was for them.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, it was really cool. So that was a really cool memory. And then another thing that has come to mind over the years is the blessing of going to Nocatee Bay and installing Steve and Mern McCord.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons that was so special is Steve was part of our church in Roseburg.
Mm-hmm.
So years earlier, we had begun to make trips to Alaska.
Yeah.
And he was kind of the main guy that knew how to operate all the machinery and all that. And one evening, we're up there, we're sitting around, and I just felt prompting of God. And I said to him, Steve, you should come up here and pastor this church. And he like, oh, no way.
Yeah.
Well, about 3 or 4 years later, we did an installation at Nocatee, and Steve and Mern are installed as the pastor.
Wow.
And Steve looks back at that as well. He shared this story many times, how God has used that conversation to prompt the leading of the Spirit to say yes. And here he is, still there today, serving faithfully. And so rewarding, isn't it, when we're able to walk alongside others, invest in them, and then see God put the pieces of the puzzle together, and we get to just share this small part of what God is doing. I just see that all over the Alliance Northwest and the journey we've had together. So
I was talking about Stephen Mern to President Stumbo this
yeah.
last week, and about what's happening, up on the island, Prince Wales Island, and I said it was such a fun visit. Dennis and I show up, and one of Steve's first words to us is, "So I hear you do drywall."
That's
and
right.
so before we left, he's got you and I like hanging drywall, and John, President Stumbo, says he probably thought, "Hey, that's the most work we've ever gotten out of the district office right there." But I am really, really proud of the work that they're continuing on even after Mern's passing. Up there, but that's what a great story.
Yeah, and that's just the tip of the iceberg of our lives and the lives of our pastors, and investing in other people and watching God do His thing, weaving the story together and accomplishing His kingdom purposes.
Yeah.
So, way to go, guys!
Yeah. So, any words of wisdom from you to impart and to leave with our leaders here in the Alliance Northwest?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think what comes prominent in my mind to that, Monty, is I can't escape Philippians chapter 2, a passage we all know really well. But we're invited there to adopt, if you will, engage in the attitudes that Jesus had. Mm-hmm. Whoa, that's pretty personal. That's pretty transformative, right?
Yeah.
If I'm really actually going to do that. And the two postures that come to mind from that passage that I think of often for my own life and the transformation Jesus wants to do in me, but also as I look across the Alliance Northwest and I think of us serving together, the first posture would be the posture of releasing. Mm-hmm. I've been thinking about that this last week a lot, because one of the things we often don't do well, or we get stuck in, is we hang on to things. Yeah. And Jesus' posture is a posture of release. It's an open-handed posture. He could have grasped onto inappropriately his God qualities, right, if you will, but he released that. And that posture of release, I see it so often, and would encourage us to be men and women who allow the Spirit of God to let us have this posture, this attitude of release, because I see us hanging on to things, identity issues. Yeah. As a pastor, for example, we don't finish well when we're hanging on to something so strongly that this is my church, this is my role, I am a pastor, this is what I do. And I find that we stumble over that, and we don't finish well if we can't release the stuff that becomes our identity. Our identity, yeah. And I've seen that over and over. And then I think, as leaders in our churches, governing boards and elders, we can tend to do the same thing. This is our baby. This is our position. This is where we belong. This is what we've been doing for all these years. And And when we don't have a posture of release, when the Spirit of God is trying to help us, release that finger by finger, we reject that, we resist that, and that creates a dynamic in relationship that is not healthy.
Yeah, it's a good word.
I think the other prominent attitude I see, the posture I see there in Philippians 2 is humility.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, these are things God is working in me on as well, and I've got to do the same thing. But I remember when I first started here, one of the first books Boda handed me was a book on humilitas, the Greek word for humility. He must have knew something I needed to work on.
You're gonna beat the pride out of
yeah.
Dennis.
We're gonna get this guy in shape. But it's just stuck with me all these 14 years.
Yeah.
That we need to lead from that posture of humility and grace. And I didn't always get that right either, but I hope that together we're in this journey where we can sharpen iron together, where we can be pastors and comrades together in ministry and leaders together, where we're really helping one another grapple with these kind of postures that Jesus invites us into. And humility is one of those areas that I just would encourage all of us to grapple with and let God shape our life so that we are a shepherd that serves, that is obedient to his will, that is not exalting our name, our place, our position,
right,
but rather we're humbly coming alongside others and serving them. So I know I haven't done all that right, but I hope that if there's any legacy, there's been some semblance that on occasion people would have seen the postures, the attitudes of Jesus in me. And I just would encourage us to walk there.
Awesome. Well, I would say from my vantage point, Dennis, over the years and my interaction with our leaders, that has been seen and appreciated, that you've shepherded our district well, you've led well. I think we have seen in you a growing capacity to release, to step into humility, and to lead from that place. So again, I mean, as we head into Thanksgiving week, from not only me, but I think from all of our leaders across the district, thank you. Thank you for serving so well. Thanks for being on this journey with us. We love you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And we here at the district office love and appreciate all of you too. Thank you for serving. Thank you for serving so well in really hard times. Thanks for releasing ego and pride and growing in that grace of humility that Dennis is talking about, because that brings the presence of Jesus into the epicenter of your communities of faith, and the world needs that. So happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Thanks for leading well. We love you here from the district office, and Dennis.
Thank you. I'm blessed.